Alright guys, so we'll continue with our basic English grammar. So until now we have looked at nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives and all that. Today we are going to look at something called conjunctions. So what is a conjunction? A conjunction is nothing but a word used to join two other words. Those are called conjunctions. So an example would be India, Sri Lanka and Pakistan are all Asian countries. So there was a conjunction here, and India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka Another example would be it is a small but clean room. So the conjunction here is but. So why it is a conjunction? Because it is connecting two words, small and clean. It is a small but clean room. Now there are two types of conjunctions. So what is a conjunction? It's a connecting word, like and, but, etc. Now the two types of conjunctions we are going to look at. The first one is a coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction. So what is a coordinating conjunction? So they join units of equal value, such as, so coordinating conjunctions are conjunctions that connect units of equal value, like a noun and a noun, verb and verb, adjective and an adjective, phrase and phrase, sentence and sentence. If it is connecting a noun and a verb, then it is not a coordinating conjunction. A coordinating conjunction is something which connects verb plus verb, a noun plus noun, adjective plus adjective, phrase plus phrase, or a sentence plus sentence. Examples are trees and plants, song and dance, kind and generous. So trees and plants, song and dance, kind and generous. They are all coordinating conjunctions which are connecting units of equal value. Now let us look at the next example. The rat climbed up the clock or is behind it. The rat climbed up the clock or is behind it. So which is a conjunction here? So now here is a conjunction which is connecting two verbs. It is or. So it is either the rat has either climbed up the clock or it is behind it. So or is a conjunction here. The next word, the next example would be he worked hard but didn't pass. The conjunction, what would be the conjunction here? That would be but. So these are all coordinating conjunctions. Now let's look at subordinating conjunctions. So that's the second type of conjunction here. Subordinating conjunctions. So when a clause follows these conjunctions, it becomes a subordinate clause. It then needs a main clause to complete a sentence. So words like after, although, say as, or as soon as, before, etc. So a subordinating conjunction is nothing, again it joins to to nouns, verbs or sentences or phrases, but when you have it becomes a subordinating conjunction when you need something else. You need a main clause to finish to complete the sentence. If you don't put that clause in that sentence, then the sentence wouldn't be complete. So the train left before I reached the station. So which one becomes a subordinating conjunction here? It's basically a conjunction. It is subordinating because if I don't write this, if I just write the train left before, the sentence is not complete. Whereas with coordinating, when you say something like trees and plants, the rat climbed up the clock, it is a sentence on its own. It is a complete sentence. But if it becomes a subordinating conjunction when you need another thing to complete the sentence. So another example would be although it was late, she decided to go to the market. which is a conjunction here. Although it was late, she decided to go to the market. So although becomes a conjunction, which is a subordinating conjunction here. Hope everyone is clear about this. So I'll just repeat it once again. Conjunctions are nothing but words which are used to join two nouns, two verbs, two sentences, or two phrases. It doesn't mean that it will only have to come in between, just like in the example that we saw last. Although a conjunction can also come in the beginning of a sentence, especially when you are using conjunctions like although, however, and all that, then nonetheless, then it all becomes, you begin the sentence with those conjunctions. Okay, we'll just go with some examples here. We'll just try and fill out a few sentences with conjunctions. The college was kept very clean dash tidy. Again, dash the college was clean it didn't have a good library. You can stay inside dash the next student comes. He worked in the library it closed. So what could be the conjunctions that we can use here? The college was kept very clean dash tidy. The correct conjunction that we can use there is and. Now second one, dash the college was clean, it didn't have a good library. Although, even though, we can use any of these. Although the college was clean, or even though the college was clean, it didn't have a good library. You can stay inside dash the next student comes. What could be the conjunction that we can use there? So you can stay inside until the next student comes. Now, he worked in the library dash it closed. What could be the conjunction that we can use here? Before it closed. So, hope that was quite simple conjunctions. Now let's take a look at something called an auxiliary verb. So, what's an auxiliary verb? So, they are also called auxiliary verbs are also called supporting verbs, and they form a major part of the group of verbs in the English language. But they are grouped under function class words as they like any other function class word. And how can you spot an auxiliary verb? Because an auxiliary verb will always come before the main verb. It will always come before the main verb. All right. So, let's look at the sentence. What can I get you? So, which is the main verb in this sentence? What can I get you? The main verb would be get. So, the auxiliary verb would be can. And it can also be used in question tags. I hope you are aware with question tags. It is like, you make a sentence, it's not like, and then you make it as a question. So, something like, she will do a good job. Won't she? So, this is a question tag. You make a statement and then you make it as a question. Now, it's a simple way for you to understand is how you talk to the children. You are a good boy, aren't you? Now, he is a very nice boy, isn't he? So, these becomes question tag. He is a good boy is a statement, and then you put a comma and then you make it as a question, isn't he? And how to make question tags? You will always use, so in this sentence if we look at, she will do a good job, won't she? So, will becomes won't. He is a good boy. Isn't he? So, he is there. Is becomes isn't. This is how you form question tags. But again, which is the auxiliary verbs? There are more than one auxiliary verbs in question tags always. Just like, she will do a good job. So which the main verb here is do. She will do a good job, and will becomes the auxiliary verb, and then we use that auxiliary verb's negative form won't. She, and he is a good boy. The good is the main verb here, and then is becomes the auxiliary verb, and then we use the negative form of is to form the question tag. Isn't he? He is a good boy, isn't he? Now, if there is more than one auxiliary verb in a sentence, the stress falls on the first one. You can have more auxiliary verbs in a sentence, but in that case, the stress falls on the first auxiliary verb. Let's look at this example. He must have left his bag behind. The main verb here becomes left. Which are the two auxiliary verbs here? Must and have. So in this, the stress falls on the first auxiliary verb. He must have left his bag behind. So that's basically the function of an auxiliary verb. Now there are two types of auxiliary verbs. All right. Two types are there. There are some auxiliary verbs which function both as the main verb and an auxiliary verb. So there are some auxiliary verbs which function both as an auxiliary verb and the main verb. So examples are is, are, am, have, has, do, does. All these are in auxiliary verbs which can function as an auxiliary verb and a main verb. Some others can function only as supporting verbs. There are other auxiliary verbs which can function only as supporting. That would be will, shall, would, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought to, ought to, need, and there. So these auxiliary verbs, they can only exist as supporting auxiliary verbs, whereas the first set, that is, are, am, have, has, do and does, they can function as auxiliary verb as well as the main verb. And what is the main function of an auxiliary verb? It provides an additional and specific meaning to the main verb, usually used to indicate probability, possibility, ability, permission, obligation, advice, offers, etc. So, a better way to understand this is auxiliary verbs give a more specific meaning or an additional meaning to the verb it is supporting, or to the verb before which the auxiliary verb comes. It could be for any reason. It could be indicating a probability or a possibility. It could be indicating an ability. It could be referring to an offer, obligation, advice, anything. So, should or ought to, these are two auxiliary verbs which talks about obligation or probability. Should or ought to. How can you use this in a sentence? He should, or we can say ought to respect his elders. Or he should reach there on time. Now, when we are using must, it must and should almost sounds the same, but there is a slight difference. Should means there is a probability, there is a possibility, there is a probability. He should reach there on time. He has started early. He should reach there on time. It is still a possibility, not that he will. But when you are using the word must, then it is a logical conclusion, or it is a necessity. So, you must say, he must train well to win the competition. Say, let it be any kind of competition. But it is, now when you are using the word must, it means it is a logical conclusion or it is a necessity. He must. Then there is will and would. So that talks about willingness or likelihood, certainty, habits, etc. I will return the book. The will here, it shows a willingness to do it. I will return the book. And when we say she would help if she were here. So this is will and this is would. So will shows a willingness, would shows a likelihood. It may or may not happen. So she would help if she were here. And if you are talking about certainty, that it will, some for certainty, then we will add a will be. So these are all kinds of auxiliary verbs. Now I can give you more examples like for may, might, can, could. How can you make a sentence with may? What does may signify? It talks about a possibility that it can happen or it cannot or it may not happen. Or may or might could be that. So I may or I might attend the wedding tomorrow. So this is talking again about a possibility. Now, what are the words that we can use when it is talking about an ability? So here it becomes can. It is talking about an ability. Now asking permission. Can or could I take a few days of leave? So this is asking for permission. Can I take a few days of leave? Or could I take a few days of leave? When you are using could, it's a bit more polite, a bit more formal, I would say. Can is a little bit more casual, but both are correct. You cannot say one is right and the other is wrong. And the last one would be, it signifies a need or a needn't. So, as a modal, as an auxiliary verb, it is commonly used in negative sentences. It indicates something unnecessary. So, something which is unnecessary, it is used in negative sentences. That would be need and needn't. You needn't. Bring the book tomorrow. So, you needn't bring the book tomorrow. And how is all these needn't, shouldn't, how are these words formed actually? Actually, there are two words combined as one. Needn't is nothing but, needn't is, sorry, need plus not becomes needn't. Should, shouldn't is should plus not. Isn't is plus not. Aren't are plus not. This is how these words are formed. They are combination of two words and joined together as one single word. Now then, there is need and dare. You dare not, or you need not. So, what is the difference between dare not, or daren't, or need not, needn't? One, you are just saying you needn't, or you need not bring the book tomorrow. You dare not touch him, you daren't touch him. It means you are actually implying something much stronger. The one is you need not means you can, but you need not. Let's look at a few, fill in the blanks here. Fill in the blanks with will or shall. Will or shall. The meeting dash start at 10 a.m. doctor visit the patient at the allotted time. My teacher thinks that I finish the project soon. So, in these three sentences, where will you use will and where will you use shall? The first one would be will. The meeting will start at 10 a.m. because it is already scheduled and it is supposed to happen, so it will start at 10 a.m. unless something else happens, unless if it is not a fixed time. Then the doctor dash visit the patient at the allotted time. Here again it will be will, because they are talking about an official thing that is happening. The doctor will visit the patient at the allotted time. Shall, when will you use shall? The teacher thinks that I shall finish the project soon. So, when you say will, it is the certainty. When you say shall, it is a probability. It can happen, it cannot happen. Now, let's look at a few sentences and see if we can fill it with some auxiliary verbs that we have looked at. Dash you lend me then. You lend me that book. Prepared. You exercise regularly. I beautiful garden. I able to drive. So now, from all the auxiliary verbs that we have looked at, which would be the most likely, which would be the correct one to fill in the first one? Dash you lend me that book. could you or can you? Can or could you lend me that book? All dash go well if you are prepared. Here it will be will. All will go well if you are prepared. You dash exercise regularly. You should exercise regularly. I dash a beautiful garden. I have a beautiful garden. I dash able to drive. I am able to drive. These are all auxiliary verbs. So that was fill in the blanks with something like shooting in the dark. Now I'll let's look at some other another exercise. Here I will give you an option of auxiliary verbs. You can try and choose the right one. Dash I help myself to some hot coffee. Cannot, should, will, may. These are the options for you. Let's look at something else. She pick up her son from school. Options are might, needs to, ought to, will. Let's look at one more. Okay, that's a good one. He dash have informed me before going there. Options would be can, should, ought, must. So which do you think would be the correct auxiliary verbs that we can use to fill these sentences? Dash, I help myself to some hot coffee. Excuse me. It's a question mark here. So, dash, I help myself to some hot coffee. Which would be the right auxiliary verb here? May I help myself to some hot coffee. Second, Veena cannot join us as she dash pick up her son from school. Might, needs to, ought to, will. Which would be the right one? Veena cannot join us as she needs to pick up her son from school. The last one, he dash have informed me before going there. He should have informed me before going there. Is that clear now? So these are called auxiliary verbs. So we looked at auxiliary verbs and conjunctions today. Again, a quick recap. Conjunctions are nothing but word that connects to verbs, nouns, sentences or phrases. There are coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. So when a sentence can stand on its own, then it becomes a coordinating conjunction. Trees and plant, song and dance, the rat climbed up the clock or is behind it. When you say that, or is a conjunction there, the rat climbed up the clock or is behind it. So even if you don't write is or is behind it, the sentence is complete. The rat climbed up the clock. Now there are the subordinating conjunctions. Those are, you will have to add a main clause to complete the sentence. So when you are writing a sentence with a conjunction, and if you do not have something to complete the sentence, then those connecting words become subordinating conjunctions. The train left after I had or the train left before I reached the station. So that if you just say the train left, the sentence is rather incomplete, right? I mean, the train left. So, and then when I write before I reach the station, the before becomes a conjunction and I am adding this clause before I reached the station. And then I could see that he was tired. I could see that he was tired. That is again, I could see that he was tired. That becomes a subordinating conjunction there. If I just say I could see, okay, you could see what? Then we are saying, we are completing that sentence by saying that I could see that he was tired. So these becomes conjunctions, auxiliary verbs again, which gives an additional, it's a supporting verb. So it comes before the verb in the main verb in a sentence, and it gives an extra or an additional meaning to the verb that we use in a sentence. So even if we look at these last a few examples, he dash have informed me before going there. He should have informed me before going there. So have informed is the main verb, and then we are saying should. He should have. So that becomes an auxiliary verb. May I help myself to some hot coffee? So here help myself is the main verb. So we are giving it more meaning, or we are enhancing its quality, as I could say it. May I help myself to some hot coffee? So all these becomes auxiliary verbs. Now so yeah, I think that's all for today. Conjunctions and auxiliary verbs. We shall look at, or we will look at the next part. Those would be determiners and interjunctions. Yeah, determiners and interjunctions. We'll look at that in the next class. So for now, it's bye bye from me. Let's meet soon, most probably tomorrow. Have a great day.